U.S. concerns raised by Russia-China naval patrol near Alaska. Washington recently dispatched 4 destroyers to intercept a group of 11 warships in the vicinity of Alaska, as revealed by 2 American senators. Last week, a significant fleet of Russian and Chinese warships passed close to the Alaskan coastline, prompting a response from a fleet of U.S. destroyers tasked with shadowing the naval patrol. This development has been confirmed by both U.S. defense officials and legislators. In an official statement issued on Saturday, Senators Lisa Murkowski and Dan Sullivan, representing the state of Alaska and affiliated with the Republican Party, disclosed that a total of 11 vessels were identified while transiting through U.S. waters in the Aleutians. The senators, referring to a classified briefing, characterized these activities as an incursion. Senator Sullivan emphasized that this occurrence serves as yet another reminder that we have entered a new era of authoritarian aggression led by the dictators in Beijing and Moscow. He expressed his satisfaction with the robust U.S. response, which involved the deployment of 4 American destroyers. Meanwhile, the U.S. Northern Command confirmed that Russian and Chinese ships indeed carried out a patrol in the designated area. However, specific details about the number of participating ships were not disclosed. The agency's spokesperson, as reported by the Wall Street Journal, stated that air and maritime assets under our command conducted operations to ensure the defense of both the United States and Canada. The spokesperson refrained from validating the senator's assertion of an incursion, underscoring that the joint Chinese-Russian force remained within international waters and was not considered a threat. Brent Sadler, a senior research fellow at the Heritage Foundation, described the naval patrol as a historic first, and deemed it highly provocative, particularly in light of ongoing tensions concerning Taiwan and the conflict in Ukraine, as reported by the WSJ. On Friday, the Russian Defense Ministry announced that the Moscow Navy, in conjunction with Chinese warships, continued its patrols in the Pacific. The joint drill encompassed the Sea of Japan, La Pérouse Strait, the Sea of Okhotsk, and the Kamchatka Strait. The exercise included a collaborative anti-submarine operation, as well as helicopter landings and takeoffs from each other's vessels. In response to the war games, Liu Pengyu, the spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in Washington, asserted that this action is not directed at any third party and is unrelated to the current international and regional circumstances, apparently alluding to the conflict in Ukraine and the standoff between Washington and Beijing over Taiwan.
Chinese views on the outcome of peace talks on Ukraine in Saudi Arabia. In the context of the concluded peace talks on the Ukraine issue in Saudi Arabia over the past weekend, Chinese experts have stated that a political solution is the most appropriate and least harmful approach, according to the Global Times newspaper. The Global Times reported that officials from 40 countries participated in the peace talks on the Ukraine issue over the weekend, including representatives from the United States, China, and India. On August 4, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the participation of many countries in the peace talks. Russia did not send representatives to the negotiations. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov stated on August 6 that the talks in Saudi Arabia are a Western effort to support the solution proposed by Kiev. Russia firmly opposed Ukraine's peace proposal, deeming Kiev's conditions as unrealistic. According to the Global Times, Western officials stated that the talks concluded without a joint statement from the countries. However, Saudi Arabia will announce a new plan to promote future rounds of talks, with a focus on food security, nuclear safety, and prisoner exchange as top priorities. Li Wei, China's special envoy for Asia-Europe affairs, participated in the talks in Saudi Arabia. While there were many differences among the parties and we heard different positions, what's important is the shared principles, said Li. China's participation in the talks demonstrates its influence and respect from all parties, according to Kui Heng, an expert at the East China Normal University, as reported by the Global Times on August 6. In the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, China has maintained a role as a communication bridge, Kui added. The Russia-Ukraine conflict is not only a dispute between two countries but also a security issue between Russia and NATO led by the United States. Therefore, China consistently supports negotiations to find a peaceful solution to end the conflict and resolve differences between Russia and Ukraine, aiming to reduce social pressure on both countries as well as on Europe and the world, stated Zhang Hong, an expert at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. China does not have political ambitions in the conflict and does not seek to contain or weaken Russia as desired by the West. China acts for the benefit of global peace and stability, Zhang said. Chinese experts believe that understanding the interests and security concerns of all parties can help find solutions in a complex environment. Both China and Saudi Arabia desire to further promote peace talks. However, Chinese experts note that it is not yet the appropriate time for direct negotiations between Russia and Ukraine due to significant differences in their positions, as reported by the Global Times. The current priority is to de-escalate the conflict, including encouraging all parties to cease attacks on civilian infrastructure and laying the foundation for future talks, Qui stated. Last week, Russia accused Ukraine of attacking civilian facilities such as bridges in the Crimean Peninsula. Meanwhile, Kiev accused Moscow of targeting infrastructure for transporting grain in the Odessa province, resulting in significant damage. Avoiding conflict through diplomatic means is essential because hostilities can lead to uncontrollable risks and challenges, said Zhang. Resolving differences peacefully, actively promoted by China, Saudi Arabia, and other countries, is the most suitable and least harmful approach to the Russia-Ukraine issue, according to the Global Times.